most of the furniture you had to build, correct?
It's not just the furniture, it was
Oh,
absolutely everything.
well,
I used to,
all of it you had to build because
oh yeah,
she
because
comes from
everything.
China.
That's right. And we really worked. I mean, Helen Jarvis, our production designer, she was absolutely wonderful with her vision and how she wanted to do it and build the sets and shoot it. But then to dress those sets was an enormous undertaking because other than say we had the tatami mats manufactured, but those particular things also came in, and then we had to redo all the fabric on them. And really, so those were the only items that were bought and then modified and painted, and the rest of it. But every single other piece, we had metal workshops going, we had forges going, we were sculpting, we were painting. Even the cannons, they all had to be sculpted and then hard coated, and everything was carved. The carts, we would buy an antique cart from Japan, cut it up, throw it on a plane, and then figure out how to manufacture a wheel because we needed dozens of carts. So everyone had to be built. The samurai boats, that's a whole other thing that we worked with props as well to build. But every single piece, you even take something as simple as um, uh, the sake barrels or any of the barrels that you'll see throughout. Well, the whole idea of weaving the bamboo that straps them together is a process that takes somebody about 30 years to learn. And of course, we have a few months. And so there was all sorts of ingenious ways to come up with things, to build things, to get them to camera fast enough with these big sets. And so we worked with the historians. We took the scrolls, and literally there were days where we had our own graphic art, or not graphic artist, but we had our own drafts person in, or half the time I would draw it out on a piece of paper and use a scale and then say, build this. And it would come off of a scroll, and we would talk to the historians and we get an approval because we were in the Sengoku period in the 1500s versus the Edo. So it wasn't like you could just, even if you were lucky enough to find an antique in Japan and have it sent to Vancouver where everything was shot, it would have to be modified because it wouldn't have been correct to our Sengoku period, which was extremely important from the Japanese perspective. So the level of research and learning was second to none. Um, and to build every piece from the rivets to the metal. I'll let Jonathan expand a little further on it, but
You
it
didn't, yeah, I don't need to say anything. Yeah. No, yeah, it was amazing. I mean, it was very challenging for many things. And literally, we would go back, and we were very lucky. We had a facility that was quite large, and props was one end, we were the other. We had our shop in the middle. We had an outdoor space that was storage when it wasn't raining in Vancouver. It was great. Um, and then we had the forge going. We had a small foundry that we would pour some of the wall sconces in the end out of aluminum and then paint them to be on the wall. But we started with boats, which were, I mean, I think in the end we made 20, 22 or 23 boats between us and props. And the originally I always remember the original comment from Aaron, our producer. Oh, don't worry, we won't have actors in the boats. They'll just be background. Yeah, all the boats that the guys are in, sitting in the middle of the ocean.
Right.
That's what we built. It was like, okay, well, Setdeck's building boats now. Great. So it was fun.
That's transpo. No.
Yeah, they were terrified. They didn't want to touch it. So
but
and
it yeah
doing
it really was epic because even right from everything literally had to be carved, and you take as simple as any kind of a tool or knife, or of course seaweed, the fish. We would go get live fish, or not live fish, frozen fish from the market. We'd pour molds from them, and then of course do it that way. So like I said, I want it back every day because it was
yeah,
the hardest thing we have ever done. And I just want to do it again.
I know you miss the pain.
yeah,
Do you
yeah.
miss